So the next concept which we are going to discuss is the concept of virtual ground. In what is the virtual ground? In ideal op-amp, we already studied some characteristics of ideal op-amp, that voltage gain AV is infinite. What is voltage gain? Voltage gain is output voltage by input difference voltage, and we have already studied this voltage gain for ideal op-amp is infinite. ये ratio कब infinite होगा? Two cases. टू पॉसिबिलिटीज़ हैं जब ये वोल्टेज गेन इन्फाइनाइट हो सकता है. एक पॉसिबिलिटी ये है कि इसका जो न्यूमरेटर है वी नॉट दैट इज़ इक्वल टू इन्फाइनाइट, एंड अनदर पॉसिबिलिटी इज़ अगर डिनोमिनेटर वी आई डी इज़ ज़ीरो, then the voltage gain can be infinite. See, output voltage V naught cannot be equal to infinite. Hence, we can take the other case, that is VID is equal to 0, that is the input difference voltage is 0. When is the input difference voltage 0? जब दोनों टर्मिनल पे एक ही पोटेंशियल हो, then the difference between those two terminals will be zero. That is, both the input terminals of the op-amp are at same potential. If one of the terminal of the op-amp is grounded, then the other terminal also appears to be at ground potential, and this type of behavior for ideal op-amp is called virtual ground. मतलब अगर एक टर्मिनल को हमने ग्राउंड कर दिया है, then the other terminal will also appear at ground potential. Okay, this is the concept of virtual ground. You will understand in detail as we proceed further when we discuss different applications of op-amp. Okay, so the first application of op-amp is inverting op-amp. So what is inverting op-amp? Inverting op-amp में input voltage is applied at the inverting terminal. So the input voltage is what? Vs. Input voltage Vs is applied to the inverting terminal of the op-amp, and the non-inverting terminal is grounded. So here in the inverting op-amp, we have a feedback resistor RF. RF को feedback resistor बोलते हैं, and input resistance R1. The current through the R1 is I1, current through RF is IF, and what is Vs? Vs is the input voltage and V0 is the output voltage. From the figure, if you look at the figure clearly, yeah, so from the figure we can write see from the figure हमको है ना I1 and IF का फॉर्मूला एक्सप्रेशन लिखना है, ठीक है. So what is I1? I1 can be written as, according to Ohm's law, potential difference by resistance. So what is the potential difference across resistance R1? I1 is equal to Vs minus V1 by R1. So I1 is equal to Vs minus V1 by R1. Okay, equation number 1. IF according to Ohm's law is V1 minus V0 by RF. Okay, the potential difference across RF is V1 minus V0 by RF. So this is the value of IF. So we have two currents, I1 and IF. उनका expression लिख दिया है, equation number 1 and 2 according to Ohm's law. The next step is input impedance of the ideal op-amp is infinite. We already know from the characteristics of ideal op-amp that input impedance is infinite. Hence the op-amp links no current. What does it mean? Because the input impedance is infinite, क्योंकि op-amp का input impedance infinite है, because it gives a huge opposition to the incoming current. मतलब यहाँ पे कोई भी current enter नहीं करेगा क्योंकि input impedance infinite है. Therefore no current enters. अगर यहाँ पे कोई current enter नहीं कर रहा है तो जितना भी current यहाँ से resistance R1 से आ रहा है सारा current pass करेगा through RF. Therefore I1 is equal to IF. Okay, so we can write I1 is equal to IF because of the concept of input impedance of the ideal op-amp is infinite. Okay, so what is I1 is equal to IF? I1 का expression हमको पता है Vs minus V1 by R1. What is IF? IF is V1 minus V0 by RF. Therefore इस equation में if we consider V1 is equal to 0, apply here V1 is equal to 0. Why V1 is equal to 0? Because of the concept of virtual ground. चलो V1 is equal to 0 यहाँ पे क्यों है, we'll discuss. देखो नॉन इन्वर्टिंग टर्मिनल ग्राउंड हुआ है, यस, हाँ, तो कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ वर्चुअल ग्राउंड के हिसाब से ए वी कब इनफाइनाइट होगा? वोल्टेज गेन इज इनफाइनाइट जब वी आई डी इज़ ज़ीरो. वी आई डी इज़ ज़ीरो कब होगा? जब दोनों इन्वर्टिंग टर्मिनल एंड नॉन इन्वर्टिंग टर्मिनल एक ही पोटेंशियल पे है। क्योंकि V2 इज ग्राउंडेड, देयरफॉर हम ये अज्यूम करेंगे अकॉर्डिंग टू कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ वर्चुअल ग्राउंड की ये जो पॉइंट है यहाँ पे जो वोल्टेज है दैट इज 0। ओके, so this is the concept of virtual ground. So V1 is equal to 0 we'll consider according to the concept of virtual ground. So if we consider V1 is equal to 0, so what do we get? Concept of virtual ground, V1 is equal to 0. Therefore Vs minus V1 by R1 is equal to V1 minus V0 by RF का जो equation है वहाँ पे we'll substitute V1 is equal to 0. जब V1 is equal to 0, what does this equation become? Vs by R1 is equal to minus V0 by RF. ठीक है, V1 की जगह पे हमने 0 डाल दिया है. So we get this equation. उसके बाद में this can be further modified as V0 is equal to minus RF by R1 into Vs. We have just sent RF here. Okay, so V0 by Vs is equal to minus RF by R1. What is V0 by Vs? V0 is the output voltage of the op-amp and Vs is the input voltage of the op-amp. So output voltage by input voltage क्या है? It is nothing but voltage gain. So voltage gain is what? AV. So AV is equal to minus RF by R1. So we have finally derived the gain of the inverting op-amp. AV is equal to minus RF by R1. Negative sign shows that Vs and V0 are out of phase. क्यों Vs and V0 out of phase पे है? क्योंकि मैंने बताया था पहले ही कि if the non-inverting terminal is grounded and अगर हम inverting terminal पे कुछ भी voltage देते हैं then it will be out of phase at the output terminal. ठीक है, there will be 180 degree phase shift.